Hey, what's up guys? Chris here, and welcome to the other side of the maintenance, War of the Visions, 2nd year anniversary. There's Locke right there on the home screen. He looks great. They have some actually really good animations for Locke also, so make sure you put them on your home screen, check them out, click on them. You can see him doing that there. Anyway, in this video, we're going to be talking about specifically for free-to-play and light spenders. We're going to go quickly through the summon banners in the shops and look at things that are going to be your best deals, the traps to avoid. Now that we know what these banners look like, we're going to follow up on some of the advice that we gave in our priority list video that we released yesterday, because there's definitely some things you want to avoid. So all of that and more in this video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you guys could. That would help us out. Let's jump into this. All right, so the summon banners here, and I'm actually not going to go like step by step through all of these. Oranjay and Diggs both did a really good job of doing that, so I'm going to direct you over to their videos to talk about how you should summon on all these things. But I'm going to kind of summarize some of the important points to note for free to play and light spenders. One of the things is very first thing you do, and Oranjay mentioned this. Come over here and do your 5-step free visiore back summon. These are great for getting extra free visiore, and actually I'll stop that rotating here so we can look at this. The really big thing is do this first before you do your summoning. That way you can get as high up on these steps before you go spending your visiore and get more extra visiore back. If anybody actually gets like the 2-to-1 on any of these, let me know. I know the first 2 steps you can get them, but I've never seen anybody get 20 or 60 or heaven forbid 140. Anyway, the second thing to note on this, and Oranjay mentioned this, is if you have paid visiore, make sure you don't use any of it for this buyback. So if you're right on the edge of spending all of your free visiore, make sure you go back to your presence box, claim your free visiore before you do the next step. Do not spend your paid visiore on this. The last thing to mention is if you're right on the edge of one of these steps. So for example, you might be at like 25, 26,000, looking at this 30,000, like you're right there. Don't be in a hurry. If you look at this, banner's actually around for 2 days. So you have a little bit of time to get to that 30,000 through login bonuses or whatever in the next 2 days. You might be able to go back, do some hard quests that you haven't done before, or look through the far plane, find some extra visiore to get to that next step. All right, Final Fantasy VI, Terra and Celeste. The big news actually that I'm going to talk about is the 9 steps. If you go into the 9 steps, they offer the medals now. You get summon medals on the 9 steps. The summon medals are back. This means you can start on the 9 steps and work yourself towards those pities. You can pity the units in the Mog shop. So this is really great. This is back. You can go through the 9 steps first, get a couple of free summons and also free Blossoms of Paradise. That's really great. Now there is one thing that I don't like about this Terra and Celeste summoning, but we're going to talk about that when we go over to the Mog shop. We're not going to talk too much about the paid banners. Again, Oranjay and Diggs, they covered those a lot. The Final Fantasy series unit summons. I actually thought when these banners came out, it would be like they would do a Final Fantasy 4 banner and a Final Fantasy 10 banner and so on for each of the collabs. Instead, they have this one banner that if you go look, basically all of the collab units are all on this one banner. So it's kind of interesting. Really the way that this works is that you're going to have a chance to pull collab units in this, but if you spend 40,000 on this banner, you'll have 2,000 coins, which you can use to get a select ticket and select any collab unit. So when we talked about in our priority planning guide that we did yesterday about picking up, for example, if you're going after, gold beds, we'll use, for example, or Aranea, you could summon on this banner up to 20 different times. You'll have the coins to go pick up that select ticket. You could go pick up one of those units, which we'll look at when we get to the Mog shop. The bonus is that if you do that, you might actually pick up some extra random collab units along the way. You might pull a random Barret or Cloud or something like that, which is kind of nice. Anyway, that's how this works. The series vision card summon. Do not touch this. We're going to talk about this more when we get to the Mog shop. Just don't. Everything we said about the vision cards in our priority planning guide for the limited vision cards, and especially like we're looking at cards like this that are showing up that are really nice cards, I think you don't touch this, and we'll talk about that when we get to the Mog shop. The rest of this, there's only one thing I really want to talk about, and that is every single day you'll have a different global exclusive unit featured. So today's Ibara, you'll have Elena, Zazan, Freyavia, and so on going on throughout the week. I think the global exclusives are actually, this is one of the best banners to summon on, in addition to Final Fantasy VI. Again, we'll talk about that when we get to the Mog shop. And actually, let's just go over to the Mog Shop right now, and we'll get into that. First, I'm going to talk about the Final Fantasy Summon medals. Kind of one of the disappointing things is I really wish they would have put these all on one instead of having summon medals A and B. And I know they've done this before, but it's pretty smart of them to say, oh, you were summoning for Terra, right? So you're summoning on the Terra banner, or the Terra step up, where she has an increased rate. You could summon, say you spend 24,000, right? And you finally pull Terra, so you don't have to go all the way to the pity. Well, that means you're going to have, what, 1,200 medals for this shop. Well, you're going to come in here and you're going to spend those 1,200 on Terra shards, probably. But it would have been really neat to see Terra and Celeste have these medals combined, so that way you could go, oh, I'm going to go over to the Celeste banner now and then summon 8 times. If I don't get her, then I have enough to pity Celeste. But the way it is now, you have to spend 40,000 on either banner to pity them. Not sure I'm crazy about that. Would have loved to see them combine these. It's just one of those things that they kind of know what they're doing. They kind of know these little tricks to get you to spend a little bit of extra visiore. Again, I would have liked to see these medals on the same thing, so that's kind of disappointing that if you're summoning for Terra, you can't use those pity coins towards pitting other units. And I believe it has been this way in the past. I think like Final Fantasy VII, you could use the medals to pity any unit. Anyway, you go over here to the series unit summons. This is what I was talking about here. If you summon on this banner and you get these 2,000 coins, so you summon on it 20 times, you're going to get a Final Fantasy series unit summon select ticket. You can use that to select any of these units here below. So if you're going for Cloud, if you're going for Golbez, whatever, you could use this ticket to find them. And again, you might actually pick up some of these units. Going to this pity, you might pick up the unit you want. Probably not, but you might pick up some other random units that you didn't have. So it's a nice bonus. Now the vision card summon medals. This is why I say you shouldn't summon on this. The pity for this is 2,000. So it's you might, same thing with the unit banner, you might actually pick up some of these vision cards, and it looks like there's only 7 of them. You might pick up some of these vision cards randomly by summoning on this banner, but I think as free-to-play or light spenders, there is no way in Hades I'm gonna go to 40,000 pity to pick up a limited vision card. I'm just not. I don't think that value's there. A unit is a little bit different. A vision card for 40,000 pity, you guys know what I'm getting at. It doesn't seem like a really good value there. And now let's talk about the best part of it, and this is part of the reason why I think that value isn't so great, is these global exclusives. So if you pull on like the Ibara banner, or you pull on any of those global exclusive banners, you can pity any of these units. The really great bonus here is that the pity is shared between all of these units. So you could pull for Ibara, and if you don't get her, those medals can count towards Elena, right? Or pulling for Elena if you pull like a little bit on each of the units. Again, Final Fantasy VI, I wish this is how this was. I wish these units shared pity, but they don't. This is why I actually think the global exclusive banner, the way it looks right now, is actually the best value in terms of what you're looking for and what you can actually get. So if you pull like a lot for Ibara and Starlight Elena, and maybe you pull these units, you actually get them, and then you decide, okay, I have 1,500 of these medals, I'm just going to pull 5 more times and then pity Zazan also. Like, you can do that. That's why I think this is really great. The other thing is the vision cards in here are only 500 medals to pity. This is only 5 summons. So keep in mind, that's a 10,000 visiore spend on any of these banners. So you can actually get the rate up on any of these units and then use that pity system to pick up their matching vision cards as well. Incredible deal. Some of these vision cards, like Wish Upon a Demon, Smite the Dark, Irresistible Darkness, these are all pretty good cards. Probably Wish Upon a Demon, Smite the Dark the best. Even Freyavia's card, maybe you're one of these players who didn't get it for free, you could pick that up here too. So I think this is actually the best pity system. The only drawback to this whole system is that we know we're getting that other global exclusive unit. These banners are only around for a week, so they're probably trying to draw out a little bit of our visiore before that new global exclusive unit drops. Anyway, that's just talking about some of these summon banners and then the pitfalls in the Mog Shop that you should look for. Hopefully your pulls go really well. All right, over here in the regular shop, for free to play or for light spenders, really this Visiore Pack H is the only option for buying Visiore. So you'll get 6,000 paid Viz and 4,000 free Viz for $47. Really kind of disappointed they didn't offer that $8 pack like they've offered in the past with like the Black Friday deals and stuff. I think it's $8 for like 1,500 paid and free. Really disappointed that they didn't offer that, but they know what they're doing here, right? They're offering a lot of really good summon banners and stuff in the shops for paid visiore, and then saying we're only giving you this high barrier of entry. You know, whatever. If you do go, don't want to spend $47, there's another option. If you go in here to buy visiore, you can go down here, and this like $13 offer, 800 paid, should get you enough to pick up some of these things we're going to talk about in a second in the store. So if you're not really crazy about spending 40, 50 bucks, you could spend this even $8 or $13 up in here. So these offers are still here, these buy one get one offers, just to let you know. They're just not listed in that special shop. If we go down to the Final Fantasy collab shop, I don't really like the value of any of these. I mean, I know they're very similar to what we've had before, but we don't have that 300 paid visiore to grab one summon ticket. Again, not something that I'm crazy about. Would have loved to see that again. So here's one of the reasons why I think everybody should have like at least a couple hundred paid visiore sitting around in their account. We've mentioned this before when they've done like the 5, 6, 7 million download shops, when they have things for low amount of paid visiore. This is why I highly suggest everybody spends like $8, $10 on the game. That way you have just a little bit of paid viz to pick up these packs. Like there's such great stuff in these packs. That Soul Stars, Vision Stars, energy restores for very low amounts of paid visiore. They even have Blossoms of Paradise for only 222 paid visiore. Definitely something that these are all packs that some people should be picking up all the time. This is why even if you're trying to keep that free to play tag, I understand, trust me, I get it, but this is one of the reasons I think everybody you know, $8, $10, and you can actually go through that visiore for a long time. Like on my iPad, before my account was linked to the Amazon App Store, I know, like a year and a half ago, I had bought like a little bit of paid visiore during the Halloween Leela original banner. I'm still living off that paid visiore on my iPad, buying these packs with it. So it doesn't take much. I mean, that's like a year and a half ago. So it doesn't take a lot of paid visiore to pick up these packs. Anyway, over here in the free shop, there's some of these are pretty good deals. Like I like this if you're super low on rainbow spheres, 60 paid. I mean, this is $1 for 3 rainbow spheres. You know, that's like the only thing I like in there. One of the other things I wanted to look at, no, it's not this one, it's this one. 1,000 free visiore, and you're getting 2 Blossoms of Paradise. I think this is like, everyone's just like, yes, definitely pick these up, all 3 of these. If you're free to play or light spender, remember we looked at the shop last week and you could get Blossoms of Paradise for about what, 160, I think, free visiore per Blossom. So 500 per Blossom, and I know you're getting a couple of other things with this, but these aren't really that valuable. I don't know where that cutoff is. Based on what we've seen in the store in the past for free visiore, I think somewhere anything under 500 is probably a no-brainer. Right at 500 for me, this is like one of those, if you really need Blossoms, yeah, but I think right around 500 is that cutoff for me. So I think this is a take it or leave it. I don't think this is as much of a just no-brainer buy as a lot of people are saying. Usually that's about that cutoff for me. I just wanted to make sure to bring that up. Okay, the last thing we'll mention is if you go over to the far plane, we have a few new events for Final Fantasy VI. You can farm, I actually don't have them unlocked here yet, but you can farm Celeste's Sword, Locke's Dagger, Terra's Sword. You have a lot of time to do these. You have 35 days. So a lot of people are asking, oh, should I farm up these weapons? Are they worth it? Yes, it's worth it just to pump a bunch of large energy pots, you know, one night, throw a bunch of pots in and let your phone farm overnight. It's definitely worth it. You'll want maybe 2 versions of Locke's Dagger because you might have multiple dagger units, but you want to get at least 1 of each of these weapons. If you have questions about the type that you want in the weapons, go ask Ready Player Will. I say that because he's done a couple of videos in the past where he compares different weapons and the cutoffs on like when they're better. So like if you're wondering if Locke's Dagger is going to be better than the Mage Masher, he'll have good comparisons or be able to tell you where those cutoffs are. Basically, I can tell you it'll be pretty comparable. So yes, Locke's Dagger, very good dagger. It'll be very comparable to that Mage Masher. Celeste's Sword, definitely go magic type, I think. And then Terra's Sword, you kind of want the crit type, I'm thinking. But maybe people have different thoughts in the comment section below. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions about the banners, the mog shop, the summons, anything. A lot of exciting stuff going on here with the Final Fantasy VI collab and the anniversary collabs. We will catch you guys in the next one.